Yo, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream here. I'm PJ. I'm going to be playing some cool decks on this stream. We're going to be playing Banette Dusknoir from Henry Brand's Worlds list. We're going to be taking that for a spin out on the PTCG Live ladder. We're going to be playing a couple of games with it. So hopefully you enjoy yourself. I know it's some ghost Pokemon. We're here in September finally. We made it to September. And I'm ready for spooky season. Hopefully you are also ready for spooky season. So should be a great time. We should have a blast here hanging out. I'm just kind of muddling through. Shout out to Zach Lesage, who is currently in process of having his first child. So we're kind of taking over the stream today, doing our thing. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I'm going to show you what the deck looks like. We're going to hop over on the ladder and see exactly what we're going to do right now. Let's see here. And this is the list. I know my big head's in the way here. But as you can see, there are quite a few different Pokemon. Now, I know that I have a couple of different options in here that Henry didn't have. But yeah, I mean, as far as the main lines, what Henry had was 3 Duskull, 3 Dusknoir, and 1 Dusclops right in the middle there. That's kind of, you know, where my head was at, is just keeping that the same. The Mew EX is great for free retreat. We've got damage modification here with the Radiant Alakazam. Radiant Alakazam's got that painful spoons ability that it can move damage counters. For those of you that played with the Rapid Strike deck, you know this card pretty well. You get to move 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another one. So if we have enough to knock something out, and maybe we need some more on something else to knock it out, we could definitely do that. So I did put a Ralts in here to kind of give the essence of a Gardevoir deck. And it does have a pretty cool attack, especially in this meta. We can use Memory Skip on something like Regidrago, and it can't use its attack, the only attack that it has, because it's got an attack and an ability. They can't use that. Same thing with Charizard. Charizard kind of sucks. And then Ancient Box. So it's kind of a counter to everything. I did add that in here. We do have the other Banette, not the EX. So Puppet offering is really what we're gonna see here, so we can get one of our supporters out of our deck. And we do unfortunately have to put a Shuppet and the Banette into the Lost Zone when we do it, but a Versus Seeker in this day and age can never be bad, right? Can't be that bad. Now, we do have 4 Shuppets in here, and we have the Banettes. We've got a couple of Banette EXs. What we're going to try to do is just spam Everlasting Darkness and item lock our opponents, as well as blowing up our Dusknoir, putting damage counters, modifying the damage, all things like that. And then use Poltergeist here. Poltergeist does 60 damage times the number of trainer cards, not just item cards, but trainer cards in your opponent's hand. So it can really ramp up some awesome damage. Anybody that played in the tag team format should know what that does. And then we do have the Bloodmoon Ursaluna here, obviously to close up some games. And more prizes they take, the easier it is for us. I do have a 1 of Squawkabilly EX in this list. We've got some consistency cards here like the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, the Nest Ball, the Earthen Vessel. We've got 4 Nightly Stretchers just because we can, you know, pop one of our Dusknoir lines and then get it back, which is really good. And then our energy is pretty thin. We only have 6 energy cards here. We do have only draw support cards. We've got the Iono, which is half draw, half disruption. And then we do have the Professor Research here to help us draw cards, but only 6 energy in this list. Pretty thin, but we do have the Vessel to find them in a pinch if we really have to. We do have Trekking Shoes. Now, Trekking Shoes could technically go down to 3 if you want to add something else in there. But that's kind of where my head's at. If we're cutting cards, that's kind of where I want to go. Trekking Shoes is good to dig through the deck. PokéStop is also really good, so you can find your rare candies to evolve into your Dusknoirs. Potentially putting in another Earthen Vessel, and then we should be good there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this out for a spin and play it on the ladder. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get to Arceus rank. Or Arceus. Arceus? Arceus. Should be Arceus because Arceus is a no-no word. Alright, so we're playing somebody in Shaman level. Can we get to Shaman level? Seems pretty easy. We're pretty close. But can we get to Arceus level? Let's go with heads here on the channel today. Change it up. We're usually tails. And never punished. But I think what I want to do is just go first and try to set up my board. Now, going second seems correct because you can still use the Shuppet with the enveloping shadow attack, but we do have 2 Shuppets, so again, we weren't punished here. And then we can also Iono our opponent. Yeah, Iono our opponents, rather. My words are all over the place today. That's fine. Cool. We got things going here, so we're gonna go ahead and just Trekking Shoes, and yes, I would love to do that. Now, Gardevoir is a pretty good matchup for us. We're just going to get 2 Duskulls down and call it a day. That's going to scare them a little bit, and hopefully they go into something crazy here. So let's just end the turn, pretend that we don't have everything that we need to just take a one-shot on both of these Ralts here. There's the TM Evo. Let's see, there's the Arven coming down. We're probably going to see Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Hey, Geraldo. Welcome to the chat here. New to TCG, how do you build a deck and what do you look for, especially for in real life play? I just play what's online. Well, honestly, what I personally do is I go on sites like justinbasil.com. Justin's a great resource. He builds lots of decks on there and kind of lets you know what's coming. So definitely use that as a resource. Obviously, the Shuffle Squad, you made it here. So learning how to play some new decks, you can always check out all of the decks on our normal videos and see what's popular in the meta. Zach does a great job every week with the top 10 decks. So you can learn what is the more popular decks in our current meta. We're just going to go here. Let's see. I'm going to evolve into this. Now, a deck should run consistently, and that's kind of the downside of what we're doing here. We do have 2 draw supporters in our hand, which I really don't like to get rid of, but you know, it's all for the greater good. Right? We're gonna go in here. We are going to get our Dusknoir. We're gonna give our opponent a prize, and we're gonna get a prize all at the same time. Hopefully that prize is a draw supporter. I'm going to get rid of their draw engine here by using Cursed Blast, where I'm going to knock myself out and then also put 130 damage onto one of my opponent's Pokemon. We're both at even prizes. Counter Catcher is not live. And again, going back to that point that you want to make a consistent deck list, a couple of these higher end deck lists are a little bit more difficult to play. So honestly, some of the best decks to learn are the more basic builds. I would say something like Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's pretty easy. If you've ever played any other TCGs before, like Magic the Gathering or maybe even Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a ramp deck that's very popular now in Ancient Box. So both decks with ancient Pokemon in it. Pretty low in cost too to buy these decks. Now these are like high tier decks. Probably cost you under $60 at the most, depending on how much you want to bling it out, I guess. And really great, again, high performing decks do what you need them to do consistently. There are decks like Charizard, which are lowering in price. There's a couple of, you know, pretty expensive cards in Charizard, but Charizard's another deck that if you just lean into the process of putting energies on, letting your opponent take some prize cards so your Charizard ramps up in damage, that's another thing that will help you out. So let's see, we got some more Everlasting Darkness here. Now what we could really use in a situation like this is we could use a Mew EX. Mew EX would be really good for us if we if we put that down so we can draw some extra cards. Drawing cards is good in the Pokemon TCG. I don't know if you knew that, but having a lot of cards to draw, pretty good. So our opponent is kind of struggling right now. They know that this Ralts is going to get knocked out. I mean, in the process of that happening, our opponent's probably just going to swing with Guardy EX a couple times. If I'm able to find either a draw supporter or an energy, it's going to be looking pretty good for us. They can't use anything like their Buddy-Buddy Poffins. They can't use anything like their Ultra Balls, or maybe they're playing Nest Ball, so they can't set up those big attackers for later on. They can't even use Earthen Vessel to find energy to kind of ramp this deck up, and that's what it wants to do. And that's actually pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is just go here and potentially pop 240 on this thing. Okay, so they do have Counter Catcher Iono. I think they're going to go for an Iono. That would be my thought. Let's see. Refinement. They probably don't want to use the Iono because I only have one card in hand. That's kind of where they're at. Yeah, low energy, high hit points, and it accelerates energy. Anytime you see cards that kind of break the rules of Pokemon TCG, you're gonna suspect that those cards are pretty good, right? You know, if you can accelerate more than one energy at a time, we see a lot of cards coming out of Stellar Crown that can do that to Terra Pokemon. You know, if you can draw extra cards instead of just drawing one, all those types of mechanics in Pokemon TCG, the more you're able to break the rules of the game, the better it is. There was a card that years ago kind of scared people from playing the game because it would take extra prizes, and that was Arceus Dialga Palkia Tag Team GX, and that one really scared people off of playing the deck or playing the game, just because it would break the rules a little too hard. All right, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is just use this Night Stretcher. I'm gonna go here and grab this energy. Night March was also scary. That was like a ramp style deck. I don't want to put this 2-prize liability out on the field. We're just going to memory skip, and that's going to prevent them from using Miracle Force. And now they can't use Miracle Force, so they're going to have to retreat into something else. So we're just making it more annoying. Almost fell off the back of my chair here. It's going to make it more annoying for our opponents to actually play the game. So something to keep in mind here for the future. So, yeah, Night March was a deck. There's currently United Wings. Yeah, the tag team era was very broken. It was not only ADP, Arceus Dialga Palkia, it was things like Pikarom. So we had Pikachu and Zekrom. You had Reshiram and Charizard. You had Gengar and Mimikyu that had a kind of funny GX attack. All of those cards, even Alolan Executor and Rowlet was kind of broken. It accelerated a ton of energy, evolved super quickly. So yeah, the tag team era was kind of busted. And it wasn't just the Pokemon. You had cards like Welder, you had cards like Cherish Ball, a ton of things here. So they're gonna send us a Flutter Mane. And they're gonna do the Hex Hurl thing. That's gonna knock us out. Well, we're gonna hope and pray that we find a draw supporter. I think that getting rid of both of our draw supporters at the beginning of the game was not the move that I thought it would be. I think that maybe going for an Iono early on to not get rid of a Rare Candy was correct. But you know what? We live and we learn, right? Gardevoir normally is a pretty good matchup for us. It's almost free, as the kids would say. We got the Shuppet coming down here. We're going to bring the damaged Shuppet up. All right, so we do get to play Mew, so that's pretty good. So we get Mew. Walk is dead. Let's just take this out of the hand because they're either going to knock us out or they're not, right? Okay, well, that's a thing that can happen. We're going to have to get rid of this rare candy, unfortunately. All right. So we can take a knockout there. Trekking Shoes. Yes, I would love to take another Trekking Shoes. Take another Trekking Shoes. Yes. Perfect. Let's give them another prize card here. I think I'm just going to take this out. Give him a prize card. All right, perfect. We got Iono. We don't even have to pop our Banette, but we can. But we can do it. Unfortunately, because we did play something like this. Okay, so at least we got rare candies. Let's Everlasting Darkness for a knockout here. Item lock them a little bit. They can't use Unfair Stamp here, which is pretty big. Now the counter catcher is also pretty big. They're just going to attack us here. And not exactly sure what our map is because we have to take 3 prize cards. So we could potentially lock up this Rad Greninja. So if we get the Radiant Greninja, we can start to move some damage. That's not good. And the Bravery Charm, yeah, now we're cooked. All right, they got the Clef Key. They're sealing the deal here. Let's just. Are we conceding? See how many do they have? I mean, they can hit 120, so. Yeah, well, they can hit over 120. 6. They have 5. So they can do 200 damage to something on our bench. So that's pretty much it, unless they forget what happens when they load up energy. Are they just not going to do the thing, or they're just going to move 2 up here? Okay. Are they going to attach energy? Or they're gonna Turo. Yep, they're gonna Turo. Cool. And that's the game. Let's go to the next game, and hopefully we can play that a little bit better. Play a little bit better on the ladder here. See what we got going. Anybody out in chat going to Baltimore region? Baltimore Regionals happening not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. I will definitely be there with a couple of other people on the Shuffle Squad. So if you are there, stop by and say hi. We'd love to have you. All right, let's see. We're gonna play maybe a better deck here. I would love to come up against the Charizard. This deck auto Charizards. Or autos. Again, my words today, they're all over the place, but it's okay. We're having fun. We're playing Pokemon. That's all that matters, right? Cool. Our opponent's flipping the coin here. Nice little Pikachu coin. Do I want to go first? I'm going to go ahead and say yeah. Quite the username that they have there. More like a serial number than a username. Players Cup 2. All right, this person's been playing for a little bit. I think we're just going to go Duskull. All right, they have the Fez. My turn. Let's go Trekking Shoe. No, I don't want that. I want to get closer to... Okay. Yeah, actually. Let's just get rid of these guys here. Let's get us a Banette. And now we have a new strategy, right? We've got the Banette in hand. We've got the energy attachment. We've got the squawk. We can squawk and seize. Caca, as they say in the South. All right, sick. Let's thin some resources here. Let's just get 2 more Shuppets down, just in case. And I think we're gonna just spin the PokéStop here. Night Stretcher would be clutch. And look at that. We speak it into existence, and here it is. Okay, so we're going to need a few things. We're definitely going to need a second Night Stretcher or the Earthen Vessel. Okay, so an Iono is actually fine. We kind of want to get closer to some more pieces. Giving us 6 new cards, not the worst thing in the world. All right, Night Stretcher, again, pretty good. We're just getting rid of all these resources. And we did get energy, so we can retreat. Looking at what our opponent is playing, it looks like a Regidrago V-Star deck, and it's good that we did go first. That means that we can retreat, and we can go right into Banette because it is in the discard pile, and I can retreat and lock them up from using items this turn, which is very funny. We're just going to go here, going manually retreat, bring up the Shuppet. We're going to go here, grab the Banette out of the discard pile, go like this. Let's just PokéStop. All right, we got the Rare Candy. Now I can give them a prize and do... I think we're just going to wait. I think waiting is fine. We want to get them down to 130 at least. So we can hit... We're going to have to swing twice into this. Or 2 more times, rather. We're going to have to swing 2 more times into it so that there's 90 damage on it. And that'll put us in range of taking the knockout. So we trade 1 prize for 2. And they're still item locked, which is pretty good. So we'll hit 1 more time. We can try to find... Or we don't even have to try to find it. Hopefully our top deck is a dud. And we just go Ultra Ball for a Dusknoir, pop it, and call it a day. Yep, no items. We're going to get rid of this Iono and a Nest Ball. Oh, and that's a concession from our opponent. Perfect. They see the writing on the wall. Their hand is dead. Regidrago bricks, and away we go. Cool. Love it here. Love when PTCG Live works. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're climbing. We're climbing. We've got about, 100 points left to go. New content's available. I'll try to update this now. So unfortunately, I think that we're just going to have to pump the brakes just for a little while. Let's see if we can update the client. Hopefully it updates automatically. Would be fun. Would be real fun. But we're having a blast. We're playing Banette Dusknoir. What better time could we have here? Pop on some spooky movies in the background. Anybody in chat like scary movies? Scary movie season. All right, let's try this again. Go back in. Let's learn how to play Banette Dusknoir together. All right, we're playing against Voided here. All right. Our opponent won, so we're going to be reliant on them to see if they'd make us go first. Okay, totally fine. Could be a Raging Bolt, so we do have to protect ourselves. Hopefully we get more than one Pokemon. I'm going to put Mew in the active, see what we're playing against, and potentially retreat into the Radiant. Okay, so we're totally fine with Mew in the active spot. Now this I don't like. I'm just going to place that there and end the turn. Now this hand is absolutely dead. There is not a whole lot going on here. Potentially we can get a draw supporter next turn. Maybe an Iono here would really, really help us out. I also don't hate doing like a Prime Catcher. Oh, there goes our Prime Catcher. Well, that doesn't work. Okay, this hand is much better. Yeah, that's no hand for sure. I mean, again, I like this hand a lot. This is way better. Now, if we had Shuppet on the first turn, then we would have been in a better situation. But you know what? Here we are. We can thin 1, 2, 3 things out of the hand. That's still going to leave 3 things. Mew's restart's not going to do too much. But the item lock seems pretty funny. Here's what we do. We're going to go double Shuppet. I'm going to attempt an item lock. Oh my goodness, is that Joshua Frink in my chat? All right, let's see if we can flip heads. Can we flip heads? Yes! We are so good at this game. We are too good at this game. We flipped heads. We are the best. Now what we have to do is just research next turn, and hopefully we draw a Banette EX, but currently our opponent is item locked. Alright, there's a Charmander into a Charmeleon. They're going to do boss's orders. Still, again, if we draw something like a Psychic Energy, we're totally fine. The item lock is real. Ooh, do we want to Iono them? Alright, so this seems kind of fun. Huh. Yeah, let's Iono. Hope for the best here. Josh, everyone, one of my favorite TSS members. So we have this. Can't really do too much else. Just gonna go here. Potentially get some things that we need. I'm gonna try to thin this hand and then draw with Mew. Maybe we draw an energy PTCG live. That would be clutch. Give me an energy. That is for sure a thing that can happen. Let's just try to spoons here. They have flipped a V-Star. We don't have enough. Oh, you know what? We could have taken out the Pidgey. Alright, we made a mistake. Let's see if we can recover. Are we punished, chat? Type punished in the chat if you think I'm about to be punished for that. That was a misclick. It should have gone to the Pidgey. There's a Fez. Alright. Are they going to hit us for 70 here? Instant charge. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's do this the right way. Or we're gonna Painful Spoons and go here. We're gonna First Blast and take out this Pidgey because I don't like that thing. It scares me. Scares me. Alright, we get to take a prize too. Trekking Shoes, pretty good. It's just one card deeper, maybe two. Do I want this one? We're going to say no, right? We're going to say no. More Iono. Why not? Let's go Iono. Our opponent's giant hand of 8 down to 5. Those are cards I like. And now we can go here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna Cursed Blast. This thing. Give it some more juice. And we get one energy card, please. Squawkabilly, that's you're not who I want. It's Trekking Shoes. No, I don't want this. What else do I get? Buddy Poffin. We're gonna get this and this. Thin the deck a little bit more. I'm gonna get rid of both of these here. We don't want any of this stuff. We're just shuffling the deck. Now let's restart for 3, please. Just one energy card. Oh, okay. PokéStop. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. Let's just go end turn, see what happens. I don't like this at all, chat. Don't like it one bit. We gotta flip the script. That's a lot of cards. We still, again, have only seen one energy this entire game. Just one. Just one is crazy. Yeah, just the one energy. Okay, so a TM Evo. Sure. Are they gonna put down another Charmander? Question. Okay, so their Charizard is live, which is better than the Dragapult at this point. I don't hate that. V-Star is gone. Have Iono. Can Iono them to 3? They get double Rare Candy. Stop. Please stop. Okay, that's not looking good. So what we're gonna have to do is try to Poltergeist, because they are gonna take 2 prize cards. I really need a counter catcher in Poltergeist. I want to counter catcher this Charizard. We need, let's see, 1, 2, that's 100, 200, 300. I need all the cards in their hand to be item cards. I need all of them to be item. Sure. I think they're just getting rid of items in their hand. Alright, they are going to get rid of my Duskull, which is fine. That's bait. I think we're just going to put Mew in the active. Free retreat. Seems pretty good. Five cards in hand. Holy moly. I think we're gonna have to put Ursa down. And then Iono. Okay, Night Stretcher, not terrible. PokéStop. Wow. Where are they, chat? Is this an energy? No, we don't. Next. Hey, an energy. Now we need counter catcher. No, we don't want it. That's a thing that can happen for sure. Okay, let's bring the Fez up. Go here. Here. Go 30. Start taking out some Pokemon. Alright. No item cards, so no rare candy. I don't know if they remember that. There is no rare candy. They will have to manually draw. Oh. The Vessel, though. The Vessel's pretty bad. They didn't use it? What? Okay. Okay. So we have to do some things here. We're gonna have to go move some stuff. Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. See? They can't even use the Vessel. They're just thinning their deck. Let's Everlasting Darkness. They've got to have Psychic Energy. Definitely have Psychic Energy. They've got 4 Fighting Energy. Alright. So we've got... They're drawing a lot of cards, that's for sure. Okay, so let's actually start moving some of this to the Charizard and seeing if we can draw into our counter catcher. No counter catcher. Still pretty fine. Let's item lock them more. Make them draw more cards. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. Alright, we got more item lock coming our way. I don't want to deck out. So do we just go for some more spoons? I think that's exactly what we're going to have to do here, is just live on the top deck. We could potentially try to Iono, but we're going to Iono them to 2, which we don't want to do. But we could save ourselves with Iono after we get the counter catcher. We just can't use any cards from our hand. There's the counter catcher. That seems pretty good. Let's just go math, everyone. Let's go just the 1 and get done. And then we're gonna counter catcher Charizard. Wow, PTCG Live is not having a great time right now. Let's swing and see how much damage we can do to this Charizard. It looks like a whole lot. We're doing 420 damage to Charizard. We get to take 2 prize cards. Seems pretty good. As long as they don't gust us. And Dragapult's coming right up. It looks like it's going to be bad news bears for us. And there's a rare candy into the Pidgeot. Yeah. A quick search. just because we whiffed that energy for about 3 turns is it was not fun, for sure. Not a good time. So I'm assuming a boss's orders is coming down here. Okay, there's a Radiant Charizard, and that's really all that they need. Infernal Rain. Okay. Yep, just retreat, attack. Yeah. All right, Charizard Dragapult did it to us. So let's try again on the ladder. See what happens here. Now, if you do want to play decks like these, and maybe you're a little bit newer to playing PTCG Live in the online client, you can always stop over to our sponsors, PTCGL Store. You'll be able to find the description link for that, and you can use our code TSS5, and you can get 5% off when you order any of the codes on there. So it saves you a little bit of money. Help us out, help yourself out. Some codes. That way you can make all the cool decks. We're gonna have more Stellar Crown decks coming up in the next couple of weeks. We've been working on that content, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from the Shuffle Squad. And again, all kinds of new decks. If you do become a YouTube member or a Patreon subscriber, whichever way you have it, you will also get access to a bunch of articles from all of our pro players. Josh is in there. Josh is one of the pro players that does write articles for our site, and you get to learn about all the new decks, learn about the matchups, maybe ramp up to playing some of these bigger tournaments. It's kind of like coaching light, right? But if you like to read and like to get articles, that is the place to be. So make sure that you become a YouTube member of the Shuffle Squad, or hop over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/TSSwin. And that will get you right where you need. Cool. And we got an Iron Thorns EX. Something you don't see every day. We're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna get this little funny thing here, this Duskull. Now, our Bloodmoon Ursaluna is gonna do literally nothing for us this turn. Debating a PokéStop. I think we're just going to use the PokéStop for now. Okay, that's pretty good too. I think just getting a Duskull. Duskull's pretty good. Squawkabilly is not live either. Both of these things pretty good. Let's just go ahead and end the turn. Now, if they pop a Lost City, that sucks. But they are going to have to take 2 turns to load up. Pokegear, pretty good for them. There's the Arven. So they aren't going to hit us with like a Judge, but when we start to item lock, that could be pretty good here. Arven's going to get a tool card, and it's going to get a item card. And again, if they don't use that item card this turn, nothing's going to happen. So a lot of the time, decks like these play Crushing Hammer, and it looks like Energy Lotto is what they're going to potentially use. Now, if it were me, I definitely would not use Energy Lotto this turn. I think Energy Lotto is going to be good for the following turn, just because you're trying to thin your deck more and more. You thin one card further if you wait a turn. They've already attached energy for this turn. So honestly, I agree with just holding it in hand. Now, little do they know, I'm going to go ahead and just evolve into Banette. We're going to spin the PokéStop. Right, so we get Counter Catcher, that's pretty good. And now let's just item lock. What we really want to do is get our Dusknoirs into the discard pile with this PokéStop, and then we can just Rare Candy and blow this thing up. That's what I want to do. I want to keep the item lock dream alive. And I think that this is where, you know, Henry had a great idea where, you know, decks like these were relevant in the meta. I think currently, now that the meta has shifted, probably not the best deck in the world. No, I don't want a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. That's also fine. Let's PokéStop. Need like a Ultra Ball? Okay. And again, here we go. Let's get the Dusknoir out. Dusknoir seems fine. Let's Candy. Candy up top. We're gonna blow this thing up. Put it in the active spot. Pretty good. They get to take a prize. We are currently not taking a prize. This is fine to evolve here. Let's just go ahead and do Everlasting Darkness and lock them up for some more item cards. Now, we really have 2 more turns of this Iron Thorns living, so as long as they can't get any sort of energy cards on this, that's pretty good. Now, Future Booster allows them to retreat. That's still pretty good. Choosing active Pokemon. And again, this one doesn't have anything on it. If we find our Alakazam, we can start moving damage to that Iron Thorns. Now, they have used 2 tool cards. I know that they have quite a few Arvins, and they're just going to research. Okay. Now, Charisma could be a really good card. And there's the Lost City. Charisma could be very, very good. But it looks like they didn't have energy. So they've got 2 Pokemon. We only need to take 3 of them out. So let's just go Counter Catcher this thing. And I think we're just swinging for an item lock, really. There we go. Right. See if they can recover from this. There's a boss's orders. Alright, now we do have energy in hand, so that's pretty good too. 1 energy here. Right. And we're just going to Curse Blast the active. Knock that thing out. And then let's just item lock. Pretty good. And if we're looking at our trainer cards here, we've got 2 Nest Ball. We've got the 1 energy. These guys can keep on retreating. So it looks like they're just going to give me a fresh one and attach a double turbo. Okay. Don't hate that either. All right, so we've taken no prize cards, which is still pretty fine. And they're going to swing at us again, again, again. Okie dokie, yeah. Okie dokie's sick. I love that card. You can hit 330 if you play the right cards in your list. Give our opponent an extra card just because we need 1 more card. Okay, this is also very good. So let's just go here. Yes, we would love to put some damage around. Hopefully our Alakazam's not prized. It is not prized. Let's go. However, it is a rule box Pokemon, so we didn't consider that, I suppose. But we did consider that no, our Pokemon's not going to get knocked out. Pretty good. No loss zone for us. And let's just Everlasting Darkness. Sometimes we make mistakes, and sometimes we make a couple too. So we got Everlasting Darkness. We're just going to continually item lock these things. And, alright, so there's a thing that can happen for sure. So, Shoes. What do we get with Shoes? Mew is never the answer. Ralts, that's pretty good. Okay, keep item locking. Hopefully again, they can't. Iron Thorn you beat. 4 Colress. 3 Brute Bonnets. Okay, Colress is pretty good. Alright, there's a Research. Researching the whole hand away. They're gonna smack into us. Alright, now I think we start taking knockout. We could take a first 2 prize knockout here. Okay, this is a little funny. Let's go here. Let's just go Poltergeist. We're gonna knock this thing out. Alright, so they got Crushing Hammer, Lost Vacuum, a whole lot of stuff. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate the good luck vibes. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. This one does 20 damage. And then you have Mimikyu, the Legacy Energy. That's the thing. There's a Crushing Hammer. Okay. Gotcha. Rizzler. For real? Rizzler is a real thing that can happen. Now, I'll read this. As long as it's attached, Pokemon card is knocked out by damage from attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Ah, an attack. It says, from an attack. That could be real cool. Reading the card explains the card. The Riz, though. The Riz, though. Alright, where are we putting that energy? Oh, that's fancy. I like that. Alright, we want to give him a 1 prizer. We're just going to go like this. This. Alright, sweet. Let's just go First Blast. Now we do lose this, unfortunately, because, you know. Yeah, because this stupid thing is plussing. Yeah, this guy can hit. And that takes a knockout. That's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah, we were really close, though. I think if we had another Duskull down a little bit earlier, we definitely could have won. But yeah, they're really just gonna retreat and just knock us out. So Henry, sorry, maybe I'm playing the deck wrong, but I did play this at a league challenge, hit a couple of dark decks, did win a couple, you know, Charizard's pretty free, everything else was pretty free, but the meta decks didn't seem great. So there's no wonder why the deck didn't didn't actually pop off, but shout out to you. All right, and that was all we had here playing Banette and Dusknoir. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. You got to see some item lock in 2024. It's very cool, very interesting on how this deck plays out. And I do like Banette. I like Banette as a Pokemon. It's a spooky Pokemon, and I dig that. But unfortunately, it is weak to dark, and it has a pretty low amount of hit points, so it's not the best in a lot of situations. So again, thank you so much for joining us here on the Shuffle Squad for this live stream, and we will catch you soon next time here on the Shuffle Squad.